Burn me with your gaze all you want, my precious. You may be all-powerful, but being evil for the sake of being evil is just so boring. If you got what you wanted, and everyone bowed to you, what then? Have you even thought about the day after revenge and conquest was done? No, I don't think you have. But that's fine. Yes, it's just fine. Because you are here with me, and I'll set you on the right road, though I'm surprised you didn't see me coming. I can feel in your gaze that you're trying to exert some kind of power over me. It feels like a scorching summertime sun. And yet, you are still in this bed, and your arms are still pinned and paralyzed across your chest, just like the royalty that you are. I'd love to see you decorated in more things worthy of you, but a mere halfling such as myself doesn't have access to crowns and amulets and golden rings. Instead, you are garnished with wild flowers and river stones lined over your collarbone, and most importantly, just here over your heart, a glass hummingbird that was passed down through my family for generations. Can't you hear it talking to you, baby? And, looking at you here beneath me, I can't help but wonder why you strike fear into the hearts of halflings, elves, and men. You don't scare me. Quite the opposite, actually. I pity you. And that sense of pity is just so overwhelming that I felt like I needed to intervene. Come closely and listen deeply. I hate that the concept of power is attached to physical endurance. The ideals of heroes are so individualistic. Somebody gains power. What does that even really mean? Even if you, alone, could lift mountains and run around the world in an instant, you are still alone. You'll need somebody to share that load, and you'll need people under them to mind the boring little things like taxes. They won't follow you blindly, And they won't get along perfectly with each other. Is their fear of you stronger than their own ambitions? What happens when they factionalize beneath your feet? What am I even saying? You're all powerful. I'm sure you've sorted this sort of thing out, right, baby? Though, I'm starting to have my doubts because you're still trying so hard to reach into my mind the way you have to kings and elves, and you're trying to drive me insane. Is this what you consider to be power? That's adorable. And the fact that you're probably lamenting the fact that you can't vaporize me with those eyes of yours. Oh, that must hurt. It must be so embarrassing having a woman 1/10 your height pinning you down. That embarrassment must be boiling into pure fury and silent secret vows for revenge. And you know what? That makes me feel so good. knowing you can see me even though I am just so small. It feels so good to know endless warfare is not on your mind. What's on that ancient mind is me and me alone. Aramas Gnirlrig. Silly name, I know, so just call me Ara. And you'd be good to know that name, because Ara is the hero you have always needed. And here you have her. If I could let you speak, or even move, I would ask you what your end game was. Once you have all that power, well, what are you gonna do with it? Are you just gonna keep conquering and conquering until there's nothing left? And then what about after that? You gonna just sit on a chair, lost thinking about the glory days? Even though I've made a throne of you, I think I would get bored if this was the only thing I had to do forever and always. Though maybe you could learn from me. You see, I had a similar goal. I wanted something, and so I planned obsessively to get it, and I exerted all of my energy to retrieve what I wanted, and I lost so many resources, but I got what I wanted, and I claimed it for myself. If you were me, you'd be paralyzed, not knowing what to do next. But I am me, and thus I have a plan. The first thing is gonna be the wedding. I know things will be awkward between us given our height difference, but that's only a small challenge, and I know that you have faced and failed far worse. Then, after you're legally bound to me, and I have my hand in your coffers, I'm gonna pay for them to take that eyesore of a tree down from the center of town. Yes, that insignificant little halfling town that is hidden from the eyes of the world. They love that damn tree, but I'd have them chop it up and turn it into a trade ship. Then I'd open up the hill over yonder, and I'd get a coal mine going, employing these simpleton townies and their rural cousins for the bare minimum, and I'd make them feel proud about all they do for me. Then I'd buy up as many homes as I could, artificially removing them from the supply and thus increasing prices. And they could dream of buying houses, sure, but with their new wages that I decide, they'll probably only be able to rent. And once things really get going in terms of industrialization, my workers would be all the more willing to work in a nice and relatively safe factory, especially after maybe a generation or two of working in mines like dwarves. And if all of that falls through, we can blame the individual for not working hard enough. Just keep telling them to pull themselves up from their bootstraps, which is always funny because they fall for it even though they're barefoot. And if things get really, really bad, I'll turn them against each other and they'll squabble amongst themselves for mere crumbs, so long as they don't stop working, of course. And yes, we would have to deal with competitors once somebody catches wind of our plans. The world is filled with copycats, and everybody wants power, after all. Whatever that means to them. but expanding our business empire into the world of men and perhaps even elves. It's all a means to sustain the end I want, the goal I've reached just here under my fingers. You hear this scion of industry. You, this deity that brings fires no matter where you go. Trees fall and rivers run red with copper. If only you weren't so damn power hungry that it was two-dimensional. But baby, I can change you. I have already, after all. So long as that glass hummingbird is there above your heart, or the spot where your heart should be, you'll be completely paralyzed. And I will be the only thing on your mind. So just relax. Rest easy knowing that your empire is in the hands of somebody who only wants what's best for you. Once I do what's best for me first. Sleep tight, precious.
Hey y'all, it's Marsha O'Hare with Nightmare Public Broadcasting, here to ask genuinely, how the hell does a halfling kidnap an evil gigantic deity? Comment below. The people we would want in our Fellowship of the Ring are Zemo, Rocco, the Logosamancer, Eofikla, Yogathul, Sherry was Script, Man of Many Bees, Jarrett Sir, Organic Emerald Sam, Myers Jackson, Daniel 42, Bumster Mogus, and Gethin Jones. Wait a second, pause. Come closer. No. Closer. You got something on your eye. It's comics and audio essays and exclusive content over at patreon.com/belladonnaasmr. Join today, join whenever, and you will always get a month of the craziest content on planet Earth. All while supporting me, my puppies, and the content you love. Now, y'all stay safe out there for me. Bye! Pippin! What should we say, Pippin? I don't got anything. Yeah. You're the best Pomeranian in the world.